Welcome to my world history notes, where I read from the book that I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history. It's just a survey on the surface, but a Bible believer looks at world history. So this is from the point of view of a Bible believer. If you want to get the book and follow along with me, you can get it on Lulu.com, Amazon.com, or at the Bible Baptist Bookstore, or just subscribe to my channel if you're ever mind. Follow me here. So we're in North America. This is the late 1700s. So we're in North America right now, and in North America, the Seven Years' War played out as the French and Indian War between 1754 and 1763. Before the American Revolution, which resulted not so much from the American colonists revolting against British rule, at least at first, as against King George III's taking away some of the self government that the Americans had long enjoyed. Pontiac's rebellion against British control opened up some of the hostilities. Chief of the Ottawa tribe, he attacked Detroit, now Detroit, Michigan, unsuccessfully, and then destroyed every British fort west of the Niagara except Fort Pitt, modern day Pittsburgh. He was defeated at the Battle of Bushy Run by a British force that marched from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. The violence and unrest in the American colonies continued with the Yankee Pennamite Wars in the Wyoming Valley of the Susquehanna River between Connecticut and Pennsylvania settlers over Connecticut's claim of dominion from sea to sea. Connecticut drafted so many settlers for the Revolutionary War later that the settlements fell easy prey to British loyalist forces called Tories from New York, and a bloody massacre called the Wyoming Valley Massacre took place. The Yankee Pennamite Wars began in 1769 and continued right up until 1807, when they were ended by an uneasy truce. Events such as the famed Boston Massacre and the Boston Tea Party caused Parliament to put Boston under military control, resulting in the First Continental Congress meeting in 1774 in Philadelphia. There was an uprising in North Carolina by settlers calling themselves regulators against British control in 1771. Then in 1774, Lord Dunmore's war against the Shawnee Indians led to further bloodshed. With the accepted beginning of hostilities at Lexington and Concord in 1775, the War of the American Revolution saw England lose its most valuable colonies in North America, keeping only Canada, no offense meant Canadians, after Britain sued for peace in 1782, and the Treaty of Paris took place on November 30th of that year. In September of that year, a joint Franco Spanish force laid siege to the British outpost of Gibraltar on Spain's southern tip, controlling the entrance to the Mediterranean for 3 years. Hostilities between England and the Franco Spanish alliance were temporarily ended by the Treaty of Versailles in 1783. The fledgling country, the United States of America, fought desperate battles with Native American Indians, resulting in disastrous defeats and massacres for them. President Washington called General Mad Anthony Wayne out of retirement to defeat the Maumee Indians at the Battle of Fallen Timbers near present day Toledo, Ohio. Being dragged into the wars of the French Revolution resulted in a sort of war with France, with America being successful. Latin America saw Spain take advantage of the British troubles with her American colonists by seizing Pensacola, Florida, and the Bahamas. The Treaty of Versailles gave Florida to Spain, but returned the Bahamas to England. And then moving over to Africa, in South Africa, the Dutch Boers accepted British conquest in 1795 because the British were enemies of the French, whom they hated for conquering Holland, their native land. Excuse me. So we're gonna discuss some very interesting science and art next couple of times, and then we'll go to religion and just some things in that time. Even going to talk about some pirates and the slave trade. So we have a few topics to discuss coming up here that I found very interesting. I hope you'll study it too, and I hope you'll study world history, even if you disagree with everything I've said. And if you hear me say a misstatement of fact, let me know in the comments. So I can correct it. But it's really interesting for me, and we have a lot of stuff coming up that's just fascinating. So I look forward to talking to you again, and I hope you'll study world history.